What a great way to start a show.
I meant to grab some water before we started, but well, oh well. It's
Here, you can
it's
have
not gonna
some of
happen.
mine.
Yeah, thank you. Shove it through your microphone so I can get some on this end. That's amazing. So,
Well,
are
let me
are
tell you.
are we
Let me
live?
tell. Yes, I think
Okay.
so. Well,
Okay,
let me
good.
tell you, technology is very different, and I
Okay.
know you know this. I'll give you a 2 second story.
Okay.
Right now, Hurricane Ian
Yeah,
is about to slam into Florida.
that's right.
It's coming into shore just north of Sanibel Island, which is
Okay.
my favorite vacation place from childhood.
Oh, nice.
Uh, 2004, we were scheduled to go on vacation there on
Yeah.
Saturday. On
Okay.
Friday, Hurricane Charlie came to town.
This
And
is
in
like a this is like a little deja vu.
Yeah. And in 2004, we didn't have live webcams. We didn't have
Nope.
massive ways you could go look up radar and do all this tracking. I finally found something. I was at work, sitting at my desk in Boeing, trying to figure out whether or not we were even going to have a vacation on a
Yeah.
Friday.
Yeah.
So when you say technology is different these days,
Oh, yeah.
that's right in my forehead right now because I got a webcam over here with the island and the waves are just pounding in and it's crazy talk because in 3 hours the hurricane's going to hit right just
That's
north
right.
of where this is. So
Yeah.
anyway, I'm
Holy
also distracted
moly.
by that.
And then you were you slightly distracted earlier in the week when they ran a space rocket ship thingamabobber
You
into an
know,
asteroid?
I completely missed it. I
Well,
did watch the
I
replay, but
I was gonna say I watched the replay too. It was a Twitter film. It was like, I don't know, 15 seconds long and
yeah,
woohoo! Okay, now we're
yeah,
done.
yeah. Hey, we
Oh,
successfully
man.
made the webcam or the camera go black. Yay!
Yay,
Uh,
yay.
but that
And
is
now
cool.
all the conspiracy theorists are gonna go, "Yeah, it wasn't a real asteroid." You know?
Yeah,
They had a whole room of people, it was staged.
yeah.
Oh, goodness. Oh, well, let's do what we can here to help the folks out and talk about word of mouth marketing. How about that?
Huh!
Should
What
we
a
do that?
great idea. Sure, let's do it.
Okay. So, for those of you who don't know, we were chatting last night. Here are some topics. Mitch said, "I'm tired. I got to go to bed. I'll look at it in the morning." He seems like all right. And then Mitch had a really rough week, and so this morning he says, "Okay, it's all you." And okay, so so here we go.
Yeah, and
Um,
that was 2 minutes ago.
that
So
was 2 minutes ago, and that's all right because I have some questions that I think would be really good for us to just sort of chat about, and we'll just get
okay,
through one or two of them, and then wherever we land, we land. And the first one is, we spend a lot of time talking about the offer. We spend a lot of time talking about how to create a lead capture page or a way to get the leads in, and we don't spend nearly, I don't think, nearly as much time talking about what is in some technologies called the share page. Some people are calling it the thank you page. Some
huh?
people are
I wonder
calling
who.
it some people are calling it just a landing page or some other contest incentive page. And if you've never done one of these campaigns, here's what happens, right? You get into a campaign, you put your email in it, your name and an email address in, you click the go button, and you get taken to a page that says, "Hey, thanks for signing up." Thank you page. Right? It says, "Hey, thanks for signing up." And then here's how you can get more out of this particular thing that you just signed up for, whether it's a contest or it's a giveaway. And I think there are a lot of people who make a lot of mistakes on that page. And Mitch, I know this is sort of in your wheelhouse. So if you had to kind of go back and look at the things that you've learned about not just your campaigns but other campaigns as you're doing reviews and things like that and you're working with your mastermind group, what are the three biggest mistakes people make on their thank you page?
Well, thank you. Great question. One of the very first things that comes to mind, and I love being, you gave me the questions in advance, but as any good, uh, highly technical, highly trained person ought to be able to answer this, right? What I've learned is that 99% of the people that make a thank you page, let's say it's Betty Lou who's making this thank you page to thank somebody coming in for opting into her lead magnet.
Yep.
Betty Lou makes it all about Betty Lou.
Aha, yeah.
There is very little thank you to
Okay.
most of the pages I've ever looked at. Sometimes it says, hey, your thing is on the way, or here's your thing on the page. We're going to talk about that in a
Right.
second. But usually, then it becomes all about Betty Lou.
Yep.
I can sell you this, you can grab this, you can do whatever. But there needs to be more celebration of the fact that somebody opted in. Somebody
Yep.
joined you and raised their hand to be on your list.
Yep.
So many people will put their logo right at the top for their business. And unless you're Coke or Pepsi or, Visa,
Yeah.
MasterCard, nobody knows what your freaking logo is. It's not about you.
Right.
It's about the person who has just joined you and wants to know more about you. Celebrate them.
Yeah.
I even use confetti, right? This
Yep.
animated confetti. I
Yep.
see more and more people doing stuff like that. But the goal here is to make somebody feel really good for making that step.
Right.
Don't just
Yeah.
go, hey, here's your
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Right?
And
Make it fun.
I think it's even okay to tell them that they made an amazing choice.
Right.
Right? I mean, not just, hey, this is really cool, congratulations, you're in, or whatever, but what you just accomplished is probably the coolest thing you're going to accomplish all week, because, and then give them some reasons why it's so great for them.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that. It's a lot like going to, I don't know, it sounds like it's kind of like going to a gathering, a barbecue or something like that, and shaking someone's hand and saying, hey, thanks for showing up. Let me tell you all about me.
Right.
Like, what?
Right.
Hold
Right.
on just a second.
Exactly.
Why do I want to hear about you? I thought you invited me to your party. Don't you want to learn a little bit more about me?
Yeah. Or you're going on a first date, or,
Right. Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Yeah. Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
First date. Oof,
Mm.
that was a long time ago.
Well, yeah, I have to say that's true for me too.
Yeah, goodness.
The second thing, if I may
Yeah.
jump right into
Yeah,
the
yeah,
next
yeah, yeah,
one,
yeah. Yeah, yeah.
if you're doing, say, a lead magnet, like I'm talking about in this example,
Yep.
so many people put the gift
Yep.
on the page.
Oh,
Say,
okay.
hey, download this, here it is, and I know
Yep.
you want to give somebody that instant reward.
Yep.
But you just got their email address.
Yep.
And you want them to train them to open your email.
Yeah.
If you don't go say, hey, that's in your email, and send it to them in their email so that they go find you in the spam box, because we all know that
Right.
stuff
Yeah.
ends up there all the time,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
in the
On accident. Yep.
promotions tab.
Yep.
So tell them, hey, I've just sent you a wonderful gift.
Right.
Sometimes I tell them, oh, I've added an extra bonus that you weren't expecting, right?
Yep.
Again,
Yep.
celebrating, giving more than what they've asked for.
Yep.
But make them go to the inbox, find it there, and then you say, oh, by the way, if you find me in spam, drag me over to the inbox.
Yeah.
So that
Yep.
they get used to you in their inbox. That's why you had them opt in.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting you were talking about this bonus thing. I think that in this training process, I think you end up doing more training to say, "Hey, there's a bonus coming tomorrow."
Yeah. Good
Not
point.
not in this one, but hey,
Right.
here's a bonus coming tomorrow. And now they're like, "Hey, okay, that's great." And so I'm going to grab the thing that you just gave me, and when tomorrow when this thing pops into my inbox, I'm going to be anxious to see it. So
Uh-huh.
that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, just
Well,
training people to open email is
yeah, yeah.
it seems like a no brainer, but it doesn't ever happen. Like, people are afraid
S-
to send email.
Isn't that strange? And
Yeah.
the other thing they're afraid of is unsubscribes.
Oh, yeah, I love unsubscribes. Get the
Me
heck off
too.
my list. I don't want
Exactly.
look, if I'm boring the heck out of you, get off. Just go away. If this is
Uh-huh.
not helpful, I don't want to have anything to do with you. You're costing me money with my email. You're giving me false hope. And if you and I don't connect, all you're gonna do is have negative things to say about me. Go away. I don't want you.
It is a strange concept for new entrepreneurs who have struggled so hard to get these people on their list
Yeah.
to say, well, if it's not the right fit,
Yeah.
bye bye.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
go
Go
ahead.
ahead. I
No,
was just so you spend a lot of time. If you're in my crowd, you spend a lot of time with an avatar. The avatar you're speaking directly to, right? This is what you're focused on. These are the pains that you have in your life. Here's the solution that you really want. Here are the immediate results that you're trying to get. I mean, all of this stuff. And if you don't resonate with that, you're not my avatar.
right?
You're not who I can help. Go away. You're just wasting your time and you're wasting my time. Go away.
Yep. And you can tell them, by the way, in a nice way, hey, we'll still be friends. I think I stole that from you.
Could be. Yeah.
Say
Not hurting my feelings.
if you're not interested right now, that's fine. We'll still be friends.
Yep.
Make it less painful for somebody to decide that they want to unsubscribe, because all the
Right.
things you just said. If they're not interested, they're never going to spend a dime with you.
Right.
See
Yeah.
you later.
Yeah. Give them an option somewhere else. Like, hey, look, if you don't like who I am and what I do, here's some options for you. And I hope that you find something that works.
There's another great idea.
It's it's
Exactly.
the same thing. It's the same thing that happens in when you like retail shopping, right? If you walk into a place and they don't have what you're looking for, I really appreciate the folks going, you know what? It may not be here, but you could try this place and this place and this place. Well, you know what? I appreciate you. I'll be back here because I know you're helpful.
Huh. There's a movie about that. Did you know it?
What movie is that?
Miracle on 34th Street.
Oh, Miracle on 34th Street. I haven't
Santa
seen
Claus.
Miracle on 34th in a
Yeah.
long
Yeah.
time.
Santa Claus is telling people on his lap, "Hey, we don't have that toy here. Go over
Right.
there." And the boss gets really peeved about it.
Yeah. That's how I remember.
That was a great example.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
it came from a movie.
You
But
know,
most people have seen it. Go ahead.
yeah, well, I was gonna say there's really nothing new in this world, right? I mean, it's just
Yeah.
all it's okay. We're here all to try to figure out how to learn the lessons from the past, not reinvent new stuff. I mean, I don't know how you can waste so much time trying to invent something that's already been done and super successful. You just repeat it and it's okay.
Guess what,
So
Bradley?
what?
Word of mouth marketing is one of the oldest things on the planet.
Absolutely, for sure,
We're not
for
making
sure.
up anything new. What we're
No,
simply trying to do, for those of you who are watching, and you're welcome to comment and ask questions, of
yeah,
course, by the
yeah.
way.
Jump in, say hi.
What we're simply trying to do is to make you aware that this thing that's as old as out of time, there's a
Yeah,
movie
communication
phrase
for sure.
there. It works.
It does work.
And it works really well.
Yeah,
So why aren't you doing it?
yeah.
Which
Or
is, go ahead.
if you are doing it, how do you do it better?
Right. That's what we're here
Yeah,
for, to help you
yeah,
do
for
it
sure,
better.
for
And
sure.
of course, so item number 3 on my list. Man,
Yeah.
I told you I was going to be so off this morning because I didn't get a lot of sleep and stuff, but
Well,
I'm just once I get started on this, I just get lit up. So,
Oh,
item number 3, here, I'm going to do this.
okay.
Item number 3
Yeah.
on the 3
Okay.
things.
Everybody
Guess,
move in. Get
guess
close.
what?
Get closer.
Lean in.
Yeah,
Lean into
lean in,
this
listen.
one.
Okay, here we
All
go.
right, you're going to be really surprised I talk about this one.
Okay. All right. I'm listening.
The third thing, for those of you who just come in, Bradley asked me what 3 things people are not doing on their thank you page. The third one is my forte, my superpower. Ask the person who just opted in or just bought something from
Yeah.
you to refer somebody else.
Yeah.
Because this is the key. People don't, unless you ask, nice tail. Unless you ask, they're not going to think of it.
That's
And
right.
it's a simple ask. It's not like you're asking them to climb Mount Everest.
Right.
You
Yeah.
simply say to them, and I got so many examples of thank you pages that just say, hey, thanks, here's your free thing. And again, they download it right then and then they're gone, right?
Yep.
They don't even say, oh, by the way, I have a podcast, or, oh, by the way, here's this other thing that you could have, which is actually number 4. I would have brought it up if I'd gotten to number 4. But if you simply say to them, hey, I bet you know another business person that is in niche XYZ that would benefit from this.
Yeah.
Why don't you ask them to come grab it?
Yeah.
Share it with them.
Yeah.
It's not hard.
Be their hero. Help them out.
Exactly. And that's another thing I've learned from you.
Yeah, it's real interesting. I mean, the number of mistakes that you could make on these thank you pages, I think there's probably, I don't know, 3 is too few, but the 3 that you picked are real essential, right? If you don't get those right, then you don't get the viral effect of individuals sending your message all over the planet without having to pay for every click.
Right.
If you don't do these things, you're sort of stuck with a traditional opt-in page in which you're having to work your fanny off for every view. And the hope here is that you can leverage the really great offer and your appreciation of the other folks that came through to get excited about what it is you're offering and have that just go on its own. And not every campaign goes on its own like wildfire, but heck, if you were able to get 10% to share, that's 10% you don't have to pay for, and that's potentially some great sales in all of that. So, man, it never hurts to ask. I mean, what's the worst thing that could happen? It could turn into a regular opt-in campaign. It could be that no one shares. Okay, well, then go and fix it and figure out why.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I've been thinking a lot about my father lately.
Okay.
My father was always throwing quotes at us. We called him a quote machine.
Yeah.
But he always said, son, it never hurts to ask. The
Right.
worst they're going to say is no. How painful is that to you? And I said, well, if I'm trying to ask that young lady out that I really got a crush on, it could be pretty painful. But that's kind of the extreme, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Could be. Yeah, for sure.
And in the dating, since we've related this to dating.
Well, you related it to dating. don't put me in that one. I didn't do that.
Well, back in the day, you could always say, I think it's funny. Hey,
okay.
So I had a crush on Joanne in high school.
Okay.
And I still talk to her, by the way, 45, 50 years later, whatever. What I could have said if Joanne had said no was, hey, you got a sister?
You got a friend.
So that referral thing, right?
Yeah.
Happens. So I have this famous slide.
You got it all backwards. If she had said yes, you say, "Hey, thanks. You got a friend." Now that's a viral campaign.
Yeah, that is true. Hey, my brother needs a date, right?
That's right. I might bore of you, and I need more options.
I need a bigger list.
That's right. You know, Friday night, y'all gonna know how lonely I am by how many times I call you. Oh man.
So let me bring it back a little bit. I have this famous slide. I think you'll see this.
Yep.
People who are referred by a friend are 4 times more likely to buy. And that
Of course they
stat
are.
comes from Nielsen.
Of course they are.
If you are paying for ads and those people may or may not buy, but somebody buys from you and then you say, hey, refer somebody, that authority goes from Betty Lou over to Paula.
Yeah,
And Paula's like, well, if Betty Lou says it's good, then it must be true.
that's right.
And Paula's going to be 4 times more likely to buy from you because
Yep.
of that referral.
Yeah, I appreciate you bringing up the authority thing, because that's sort of one of the copywriting hacks that we try to do on the front end of this, right? How much authority can we borrow from somebody else based on, logos of people who are using your product or service, quotes for the type of, maybe great reviews for the product or service.
Right.
How do you borrow that authority to break down the trust barrier? Well, there's no better authority than a friend saying, I dig these people, you should sign up. And
Exactly.
you can't replicate that on the lead capture page. It's not possible. I mean, you could put testimonials in, but even a testimonial is nowhere near the same as a personal invitation from someone else.
Right.
So it's
Bingo.
like the magic that happens with these kinds of campaigns.
Huh. I wonder why I called it Thank You Page Magic, and thanks for leading right into that. Man, I ought to pay you or something.
Oh goodness.
The
Oh
plugs
man.
coming through.
Yeah, but apparently today is your day, even though it felt like maybe it wasn't.
Yeah. See, I get wound up about this stuff.
Yeah.
I'm going to get a little personal here. I was talking to one of my mentors, Richard Ralston, a couple of weeks ago, and I've been talking to him for years. And you know, Bradley, that I was doing a podcast, a blog about cameras and video for
Yep.
years.
Yep.
And I had the imposter syndrome, quite frankly. I was good at curating the news, but I wasn't really an expert. And I felt it when I did things like live videos or recorded videos. And I could interview people, I could ask great questions, but I would go to the NAB conference every year in April, the National Association of Broadcasters in Vegas, with 100,000 people there. And I even got to the point where I was a guest on many of the live streams that they did from that show.
Yep.
And the question that they always asked me was, what's the best product you've seen?
Yeah.
And I felt icky because
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you what the best product was.
Hmm.
Because I wasn't somebody who was shooting video on a regular basis.
Yeah.
I was good at curating. I was good at interviewing.
Yeah.
And so my common response was, well, I met Charlie Sheen, or I met that was the first name that came to my mind, and I've never met Charlie Sheen. But I could talk about the people that I had met.
How does that come to mind?
I don't know.
Okay. We'll put a pin in that one. Come back to it. Okay.
I mean, I met all kinds of famous directors of photography. Shane Hurlbut, I don't know if you know Shane.
No.
He did Terminator 4, I think it was. He was the director of photography of that. I met Richard, not Richard. The guy that directed Titanic. I mean, I met lots of famous people, and it was really freaking amazing because
Sure.
at the time I started going, I was still my day job sitting up there because that's where my office was, sitting at
Yeah.
Boeing doing computer software development, and on the side, I'm going out to Hollywood and going to movie
Yeah.
sets and meeting all these cool people. It was like insanely crazy cool.
Yeah.
But I still had this imposter feeling because I
Yeah. Yeah.
wasn't actually. And there was a young man. I remember the day. I don't remember the actual date, but went to a party at a bar, and he was a competitor of mine. He was operating one of the other websites. He said, "Mitch, you're an imposter. You're fake. You don't do the work. You simply report on it." And I'm like, I'm a good reporter, but that always sat in the back of my mind.
Yeah. Yeah. You
Now
got in your
this
head.
stuff, and it, but I already knew it. I already knew that I wasn't
Sure.
really fully qualified, but I would justify it by saying, well, Dan Rather reports on the news, but he doesn't know how to go shoot guns in a
Yeah.
war, right?
Yeah.
Or
For sure. Yeah.
whatever. Anyway, but it always bothered me that I was not the guy. I am the guy. Besides you and other people that are, but I feel very
No
comfortable with
offense
this
taken.
topic. I can talk about this topic and I can get
Yeah.
wound up because
For sure.
I totally understand it.
Yep.
I feel it in my gut. I know it's something that every entrepreneur ought to be doing. It's
Yep.
not a freaking shiny object where you have to go
No.
learn a whole bunch of stuff. Everybody already knows how to do it, like you said earlier.
Yep.
It's nothing new. We just have to help them learn how to do it a little bit better than they would do on their own.
Yeah. Yeah, and
And
learn how
and
to
so I
use some
get wound up.
tools and whatever. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think the cool thing about what it is we keep talking about is because it is proven.
Jealous?
Oh, yes, yeah. Well, okay.
Sorry.
Uh,
Go ahead.
because
I
I
interrupted.
think
I'm sorry.
no, it's all right. It's exciting to me because it is proven, right? We know it works,
Yeah,
and it's not a hard it's not a stretch to try to explain it to people. All
right.
you're doing is saying here are the sort of building blocks and the process to go through. And if you get all the way through this process, you're going to make a huge difference in your own business. It's going to be
Exactly.
absolutely amazing. And when people see that success, they finally go, "Oh, now I get it." But
Yeah.
it seems so overwhelming and challenging in the very beginning. And that's one of the reasons I like this show is that every week we sort of break down some of the challenges and some of the myths that exist that hopefully continue to encourage people, right? I mean,
Yeah.
if you bang out these 3 things on your thank you page, just like Mitch was talking about, all of a sudden you have a campaign that performs so much better than when
Yeah.
you first started. Where are you going to find this kind of advice? It doesn't exist anywhere else, right? I
Exactly.
mean, it exists in your mastermind. It exists in your groups. It exists on your stuff when you're working on it. It
Is
doesn't
it in
exist in
here?
that. It's not in
It's
there,
it's not
and they just
one of the most popular books on the planet right now.
right and super timely, right? Because they just finished Funnel Hacking Live,
Yeah.
right? Where
Uh-huh.
they talk about all the things in that book, or a lot of things that are in that book, and I'll bet you there wasn't a single presentation on the referral traffic and the referral marketing that you could do very simply, and these 7-figure businesses that attend Funnel Hacking Live would see their businesses go to 8 figures because they have so many more leads and ways to leverage the traffic that they are getting. So
Yep.
yeah, it's super super timely and really really important.
And let me finish that because you didn't
Yeah.
state it. If you're out there
Okay.
watching, and I know quite a few are out there watching,
Yeah.
everything Bradley just said, the 3 things that I talked about on your thank you page, cost you nothing to do, and you can implement them with no tech,
Yes.
nothing. You just
Yeah.
simply add some words to your page. You start
Yeah.
crafting better language to make them feel more excited about stuff.
Yep.
If you want to do the confetti thing, I got a free script from out there on the internet. I can show you how to do the confetti thing to gamify it a little bit. But you can do all of the stuff that we talk about
Yep.
with no additional tools, no additional cost other than your time to
Yep.
make it happen.
Yeah, and maybe to underscore that is, uh, you could do it in email,
Yeah.
right? You could say thanks for showing up, thanks for giving me information, thanks for whatever it is, and you can do it there. You can, and we talked about this, right? You could do it in hard copy letters. You could do it all kinds of different ways. That it can be as low tech as you want it to be.
Yep.
It could be in a voicemail. It could be in a text message. I mean, it can be very, very simple, and it should be very simple. Uh, every platform right now, every platform that sells something online, whether it's digital products or physical products, has a thank you page,
Yep.
right? It's a confirmation that things went through like it's supposed to, and the user goes, oh yeah, that's great, it's on its way. That's the white space we're talking about. It's
Yeah.
usable, it's there, it's available already in everything that you're doing. So my encouragement would be to go figure out, well, how do you set it up in a way that encourages people to do that? I mean, how do you what words do you use, and how can you incentivize them to share it so that everyone wins? That's the biggest challenge. What
Yes.
happened? What happened?
Uh, I went to my browser to make sure that something works because
Yeah, and
I haven't tested it lately.
yeah,
Um, can I do a plug
sure.
for
Do a
something
plug.
free?
Yeah, do a plug. I like it.
If you want more details on this, and I don't have my fancy ass slide made up, but if you simply go to Mitch Gift, that's GIFT.com,
Yeah,
I'll send you some instructions and a whole page of videos showing you how to do all the stuff we just talked about manually on your page
awesome.
for simply an email address. That's all you got to give me. And if you pay attention to the page and the thank you page,
Mm.
guess what? I'm doing what I tell you to do on
Yeah.
those pages.
Yep.
Shocker.
Yeah.
Simple.
Yep. For sure.
And it's all done with no tools.
Yeah.
No purchase tools whatsoever.
Yep, and I appreciate that. I know we talk a lot about it, about a tool that we really like.
Yeah.
It's one of the best tools out there, but it's also not cheap. And for those people who are just starting this exercise, you can kind of have some buyer's remorse, because learning a new tool is kind of tricky. Trying to understand the offer is kind of tough. And then and all these things that you're trying to do to use the tool effectively, it takes a long time to sort of sort that out, but you can do a lot of it for free ahead of
Yep.
time. And
Yep.
then when you feel like the tech that you're using, this low tech version of it, is not quite slick enough, or it's more manual than it needs to be, now's the time to take that same really amazing offer and move it over to a platform that's specifically made to do this kind of stuff. And you're going to see some really cool successes with that.
Yep.
But you could
Yep.
get really, really frustrated if
Yep.
you were trying to wire it all up and you don't even have any, if you don't have the offer or a campaign in mind, right? This is a hope and a dream, and it's just an empty hope and a dream right now. And all you're doing is sending your credit card information every month, and they're willing to take it.
Yep.
It could be kind of, I don't know,
Yeah.
frustrating for sure.
Yeah.
So cool. Well, you know what? I don't think you and I have enough time to pick up another question, because it'll
Nope.
go way over the hour. And I do want to be able to offer the people who are watching. We know you're watching. We can see you.
Uh-huh.
We can't see your names, but we can see you.
I see
We're welcome.
Betty.
Yeah, there you go.
I see Paula. Do you remember that show?
Romper Room.
Right.
Or yeah, Romper Room. Yeah, or
Yeah.
yeah, that wasn't Captain Kangaroo.
No, 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 no.
Romper
Romper Room.
Room. Romper
Sherry,
Room.
wasn't it?
I don't remember.
I
I
don't
just
either.
I don't. All I remember is that when I was sick, I had to. We wheeled in the tiny little black and white TV on a tiny little cart into my room, and I had to adjust the rabbit ears so that I could sit there and watch Romper Room in the morning when I was sick. in
You're
bed.
dating yourself, Bradley.
I kn well, today is my 51st birthday,
Is it
and
really?
it is my 51st birthday, and you know, I like being 50. I like being over 50 because
Look at that.
I
Did you miss it?
I
Oh,
have yeah, no, I saw it. I
okay.
thank you. I have quite a lot of life experiences for the 51 I am, and it's I always wanted to be the wise guy in the room,
Yeah,
and the grayer my hair becomes, the easier it is for me to be in that position, and I totally dig it. It's a
nice.
lot of fun.
Great.
Yeah. So yep, romper room, little rabbit ears.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, thank you very much. All right, so if you don't have any questions in the audience, if you know, feel free to ask them. If not, then we're going to be done with this and get you on your day.
Yes, absolutely true. And by the way, if you haven't, if you want, where the heck is it?
I don't know.
Dang it. Oh, it's right there. If you go to hearmitch.com, and I stole the URL, it's really for Bradley and I, but and if you have your phone handy, you can do that scan QR code. Hearmitch.com has all of the prior episodes of this podcast, and you can consume them and search through them and can't really comment on them yet, but that's coming down the road, I hope. Anyway, you can always, of course, get a hold of us. Bradley is available at.
Wordofmouthmarketingsecrets.com. Wordofmouthmarketingsecrets.com. That is a very special free offer right now to jump in and get my viral marketing masterclass, which is, in my opinion, the foundational stuff that you're going to need to be really successful with these kinds of campaigns. It walks you through everything from how to create the avatar and the offer to what does the tech look like, and then what do you do in email messages afterwards. So it's the entire sort of life cycle of these kinds of campaigns. Or you can send me an email at bradley@waldropcommunications.com, bradley@waldropcommunications.com. And then one more way, and Mitch loves it. I give away my phone number. It is 916-314-0413, 916-314-0413. And I look forward to hearing from you guys. I'm here to help you, and I'm getting very, very busy. So if if you need the help, now's the time, because after Thanksgiving, I'm not sure how much more time I'm going to have for
Yeah,
quite a few months.
yeah,
So
good.
yeah,
Of course, if you want to get to me, the best way right now is you go to mitchgift.com, which will get you on my newsletter. Plus, it'll
yep,
get you this free gift, which will explain all the manual ways you can update your thank you page. And I give you
yep,
some scripts even to make buttons happen if you want and stuff like that. Mitchgift.com.
yep. Sounds good. Awesome, Mitch. Well, I hope the rest of your day goes well, and I hope that everybody who's watching has a good day too. I'm going to go celebrate my birthday.
Yeah, good for you. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
All right. See you guys next week. Same bat time, same bat channel.
That's right.